Howdy, welcome back to Dion Talk. I am here in Sagres, Portugal, where I am basically chasing the good scuba. This is not a video about visiting Portugal. It is kind of a video to test and see how good this wind mic does, but it's a video to explain why I need more debt. I actually don't want more debt to make more money. There's two main reasons why I'm probably going to be adding debt. And it's important to understand that when you win the game, you should stop playing. So I'm not adding debt to increase my risk. When we start investing and we're in growth mode, we can use debt and it can be risky. I didn't even start saving to invest until I was 40. I found myself as a single parent laid off from law enforcement because of the 2008 housing crash. Found out about $89,000 in debt in my name I didn't know existed until the divorce, and started teaching at a CDL school making $17 an hour. So you would think the last thing I would want would be debt, until I learned the three different types of debt. Right, you have bad debt. This is consumer debt, car loans, mortgage on your house, student loans, credit card debt, all that stuff that costs you money and doesn't make you money. There's worse debt. Worse debt is stuff with an adjustable interest rate or a high interest rate, or something with a balloon payment, or a loan reevaluation period. I don't want any more of those two types of debts. What I want is good debt. Debt that makes me money, and I don't want more debt to just make more money. There's two reasons why I want debt, and here's a quick breakdown for people who like to understand the numbers, and I'll make this quick for the people who don't like to understand the numbers. But I own 8 rental properties with about 18 rental units on it. I live in one. There's about $35,000 in rents coming in every month, about $9,000 in mortgages going out. I set aside $5,150 for future expenses, which is kind of a joke for those cops out there. But that leaves me about $21,000 a month that I'm trying to figure out how to spend. And I generally spend around $5,000, even when I'm traveling in Portugal or Thailand or Colombia or Florida, the Australia of the US. So I'm not adding debt because I want to make more money. I'm adding debt because the first reason is, of my 8 properties, 6 of them have mortgages. One I paid off, which cost me about $1 million. One I purchased all cash because I wanted to self-fund a burr. And so I have 6 properties with mortgages and 2 without. I don't want to pay more off because those 2 properties that don't have mortgages are at the highest level of risk. If I get sued, there's no bank in first position to protect me, so I don't have a form of asset protection there. So I want to buy another property with a mortgage. I don't want to pay one of mine off. And I may actually just add a mortgage to one of my 2 paid off properties. Again, not to make more money. But the benefit to buying a property instead of taking a mortgage out on my existing properties is buying a property with a mortgage. I would never add a mortgage for the interest rate write-off. That's actually kind of stupid. Why would you want to save $300 by giving $1,000 to a bank, which is technically the way a write-off works? You spend $1,000 if you're in the 30% tax bracket to save $300. That's dumb. Instead, I want to buy a property with a mortgage because I'm going to start a new depreciation schedule. If I put $100,000 down on a $400,000 property and the buildings are worth $300,000 or $350,000, I get to depreciate that over 27 and a half years. Not so that I make more money, but so that I give less money to the government because I'm not happy with how they're spending it. So this is a nice short video here in Portugal where I talk about why I want more debt. I want asset protection and I want a new levered depreciation position. A couple of other things I noticed about Portugal here. Let me know if you notice this when you're traveling to a place like this. The first one, condiments seem to offend the locals. If you ask for salt and pepper, they give you the tiniest little package. If you ask for ketchup, after staring at you for a few seconds, they give you about a half an ounce. If you ask for steak sauce, they stare at you like you're speaking a different language, which you kind of are. The second thing is all of the hotels don't have ice maker machines. I actually didn't even realize this until somebody pointed it out in the comments. So thanks for that. But yeah, they don't. Since I don't get ice, I didn't notice. But the third thing and the weirdest thing, and the thing I want to say without offending anybody. So please, if you're from Portugal or you travel to Portugal often, let me know what I'm doing wrong here. In all of the hotels that I've stayed at, there are no hand towels. There's a towel, and there's like a half towel, but there's no face cloths, no hand towels, no nothing to wash your body with while you're in the shower. So I end up just washing my body with a towel in the shower. Am I missing something? Have a day full of amazing. And remember, once you win the game, stop playing. Don't add risk, but make choices that get you what you want. And for me, it's more asset protection and less money going to the government.